Okay, so here we have the last day of this event, and I'm pretty sure they're asking you to use Lenny. They want you to use Lenny, which would make you think that they're trying to drive sales for Lenny, but this came out after Lenny's banner is gone. These are the banners right now. Why? Lenny's gone. Why are they trying to make him, like, drive them sales? They should have put him at the top. Now, my rule is we use literally every single buff to its fullest. My best guess is this team, possibly, because Bennett will be able to heal us, right? And we'll be able to raise the attack of those characters. Yeah, guys, right? Right? All right, let's pull them all in. Let's go. I don't know how easy or how hard this is. I've been, I had someone in the comments tell me, a little bit about it. It's not the easiest, but we should be fine nonetheless.
Making a lot of assumptions right now.
Took 9 years. I don't really want to... man, why did it take so long to spawn the enemy? It would have been easy for me to just... yeah, all this new mechanic does is just stun. It's really not that good. I don't understand why at the beginning... I guess maybe people thought it was bigger than it was, but, like, it really is not that good. Like, I see no use for why... like, it's something to be praised. We could have finished this a lot easier and a lot faster if I had just actually used all of my burst there, but it was the last enemy. I didn't want to go in here and have to recharge my energy. So yeah, let's get into the title of the video. Endgame content. Should this be considered endgame content? And I think it should, honestly. I think that because they're doing this basically every update. So far, we only have 2 updates that are doing this, right? So it's not like, oh man, we got him, right? And also, I hate how Kazuha missed this guy. It's great. But it's not like huge in how we like a gotcha moment, like Genshin's changing their plans. We don't know that for certain yet, but I would say there's a good chance of it, right? Man, this is really annoying. Like, these guys spawning so far away, even with Kazuha's grab, he's just really not even able to do much. Oh, and we didn't even get all the energy that we needed. Okay.
You want to see me do it again?
Yeah, this really wasn't that good. We had huge struggles here. Yeah, I did not like this. This was very bad. I'm not a fan of this one. Yeah, they really were, like, giving this buff out like they were doing something. Like, this buff is just bad. I really... yeah, I don't like this. This buff here is just bad. I don't like it. But let's go back to the, endgame, right? I think this is good enough for endgame. I think overall this is decent enough to be considered, endgame worthy, right? We're not easily going through this, and even Kazuha National here is just struggling. Like, I mean, this is, I would say, close to Spiral Abyss difficulty in some instances, right? Spiral Abyss sometimes doesn't get this difficult. Like, we are approaching Spiral Abyss difficulty here, and, I love how they continuously are... oh, this is annoying.
I can smell the failure!
Spiral Abyss is basically a harder version of this, I would say. This is way more variety. Like, we're not gonna see treasure hoarders like this. We're not gonna see this in Spiral Abyss. So, I feel like if they consider this their in-game content, I love how I tried to switch and use his burst immediately, but it didn't work. Yay. But if they did this and yet they said, like, this is in-game content, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, how dare they? How could they? This was like, this isn't in-game content, this is a mockery of in-game content. No, this is good. I like it. I think this belongs in a discussion, like, saying, like, this is in-game content. Which... the reason why I bring this up is because I had people in, my Honkai Star Rail video were like, oh, Genshin has no in-game content, and it's like, well, now I think they're, changing it, and they're sort of, maybe responding to Honkai. I don't know. We'll have to see. This should, come on. Okay, good. I am really concentrating here. Like, I don't do this for normal events. Like, this is a hard event, I would say. I don't think this is some pushover event that we could just say, oh, it's just a Genshin event, not really that good. If you don't like the fact that in-game content might not be permanent, then look at Spiral Abyss and tell me, when's the last time we had 1.0 Spiral Abyss enemies? It's not permanent. It's never been permanent. Okay, we have a little bit better of a chance here. Like, I don't think content for Endgame has to be permanent, right? I don't think it does. I really don't. I'm really struggling here. This is actually getting down to the wire here. I'm gonna try this. Okay, good. Come on. Oh man, this was so close. Yeah, okay. So in-game content doesn't have to be permanent. That was really hard. Okay. So, like I said, in-game content doesn't have to be permanent. It's never been permanent in Genshin, and we've been saying, well, Spiral Abyss is in-game content, or at least what we think of in-game content. People, you know, a lot of the times they'll be like, Spiral Abyss isn't in-game content, and it's like, do you want a harder challenge? Like, dude, it's hard enough. It's hard enough for me to not do it immediately. Like, sure, Floor 12 is really the only challenge. We've had a couple challenging Floor 11s. Spiral Abyss right now, I would say, can be beaten by every single limited 5-star with just a team of 4 stars behind them. I think that's a perfect way to do in-game content. We're not really, like, well, maybe not every single 5-star at some point. Like, to a certain extent, it's not there anymore, right? You would have to invest heavily into certain, like, poor characters like Sinnoh, right, to actually be able to beat Spiral Abyss, which is, like, you know, I don't really agree with a harder content that would make, you know, certain characters unusable, right? We've been over this before. It was a while ago, though.
Am I a joke to you?
I think this is honestly pretty good in-game content. Because as you see, I have been using different teams. I had to use some weird... In no Spiral Abyss will I ever do this team. I made this team. No Spiral Abyss will I ever have to do this team. But because, you know, they're like, oh, hey, this is an event. Sure. All Hydro enemies. Like, when you're doing this, when you're doing Spiral Abyss, you have to think of 3 chambers. And a lot of the times, one chamber will counter another chamber. So it's hard, right, in that aspect. So I would say this is probably easier than Spiral Abyss. In some instances, I had to try more times on this than I normally do on Spiral Abyss. Maybe I'll fail like once in Spiral Abyss. I'll get stumped because my Raiden killed something too fast and her energy wasn't there, right? I'll have to restart. But this, I had to try like 7 times over because I had to, you know, like I had to pick different teams. I had to figure out different teams that would work on this. I don't do that with Spiral Abyss because Spiral Abyss takes way too long, right? You saw that last run was like 2 minutes, right? Spiral Abyss can take up to 30 minutes. None of these videos have been 30 minutes long. I think this is honestly a good, you know, variation for in-game content, right? It has different buffs, right? Every single one is different buffs, so it rewards you from bringing certain characters, right? Imagine if, you know, electro damage and then normal and charge attack damage bonus, right? Makes Sinnoh really, really insane, right? That would be crazy.
Why are you the way that you are?
That would be crazy. It would add more variety to how you play because I normally, like, I've not used Hu Tao and Spiral Abyss in forever, but I took advantage of the Hydro enemies, right? You know, like, this is something that I think is very good for the game if they continue to do this, and I think we should consider this in-game content. Now, given the fact that this event is so good, and I've basically been saying that it's amazing and great, and I love it, I think this event is a 9 out of 10. Once again, the rewards are just not up where I want them to be. Like, I don't really consider, you know, 420 Primo Gems great rewards, right? You know, 70 Primo Gems every single time. 70 times 6 is 420. We go through this every single time. I think overall, this is legitimately an amazing event, and it is quite sad to see it leave because, you know, I had real fun doing it, and I had fun doing the last time we did this. So I am very curious to see if 4.1 will bring the same sort of difficulty for a combat event. If they do, then we're looking pretty good, right? I think this is the new way that Genshin's doing it, because this would be 3 updates in a row. I think this is a really good way to add variety and, you know, keep players interested. I had a lot of fun, you know, taking advantage of the buffs. I think if you did this all with one team and you were upset with, you know, like, oh, this event's so easy, then maybe try and take advantage of the buffs, right? The buffs, you know, will allow you to use different characters that normally you wouldn't use, like, freeze and, you know, electro charge, vaporize, right? It will reward you for, you know, playing any pyro or cryo character, right? That's basically it, right? If you don't normally main a pyro or cryo character, then now's your chance to try it, right? So yeah, I think this was absolutely amazing, and I love this event. I really, really love this event. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.